I'm seeing it right away. Cancer, July 29th, and the room is crowded with options. Too many tabs open, too many maybe plans. You keep checking, and nothing gets chosen. You knew this already. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is the fog. Seven of Cups is the scrolled overthinking, the late night, what if I do this instead energy. You are looking at too many paths and calling it intuition. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. Seven of Cups is showing you where desire got mixed with distraction. One idea sounds beautiful, another one sounds urgent. Another one just feels familiar. But not every strong pull is your path. The move here is concrete. Write the options down. Name them. Cut the fantasy language. Which one can you actually do this week? Which one is just escape dressed up like possibility? Seven of Cups says stop feeding every branch. Pick one real lane. The rest can wait. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is the part where you have to hold your ground. Seven of Wands is you saying no twice because the first no did not land. I'm seeing you protect your time from people who keep testing it. They question the choice. They push the boundary. They want the old version of you who folded fast. Not anymore. This is not about being aggressive. This is about standing where you already planted yourself. If you said you were unavailable, stay unavailable. If you said you needed space, keep the space. Do not explain yourself into exhaustion. Seven of Wands says your progress needs defending, not with a speech. With consistency, with the same answer, with the same line, again and again if needed. Judgment. Judgment is the wake up. Judgment is the moment you stop pretending you do not know. Because this gets real. You already saw the pattern. You already felt the drain. You already knew which direction was dead. Judgment is asking you to answer the call instead of circling it. That means honest self-check. No softening it. No hiding behind, I'm still thinking. No. You have been thinking. You have been avoiding the decision. Judgment says admit what is done, admit what is true, and move. If something needs to end, let it end. If something needs a new life, give it one. Forgive yourself for waiting. Then get up. This is not punishment. This is renewal. So the moment is clear. Seven of Cups shows the fog. Seven of Wands shows the boundary. Judgment shows the truth. Too many possibilities can make you freeze, but not forever. Not today. Today is for choosing one thing, protecting it, and answering the deeper call. Stop scrolling for the answer. Stop asking the room what you already know. Make the call, stand by it, move forward. Cancer, July 29th. 7 of Cups. You keep opening tabs, opening messages, opening possibilities. Then you close nothing. 7 of Cups is the part where the options look emotional, but half of them are just noise. I'm seeing you scrolling for an answer instead of making one. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You already know which option is real. The rest are just sparkle, escape, and what if? You do not need 5 plans. You need one honest choice. The moon reversed. The fog is starting to lift, and that is not always comfortable. The moon reversed is where the text thread, the silence, the weird timing, all of it starts making sense. You read into one message, then another, then you lose sleep over the worst case version. Hold on. Not every fear is intuition. Some of it is just fear. Check what was actually said. Check what was actually done. If somebody's pattern is clear, stop giving the benefit of the doubt to your anxiety. 7 of Wands. Now you have to hold your ground. 7 of Wands is you repeating yourself because people keep testing the same boundary. They act confused when you said no on Monday. They push again on Wednesday. They want access to your time, your energy, your yes. Don't fold just because it gets loud. Don't explain yourself into exhaustion. Say it once, say it clearly. Stand where you stood. This is not you being difficult. This is you protecting what you already built. Judgment. And here's the wake up. Judgment is the moment you stop pretending you need more signs. You do not. You need honesty. You need to admit what you already know about the choice, the person, the pattern, the habit. I'm seeing a clean reckoning here, not drama. Truth, you answer the call or you keep circling the same lesson. There is a life change sitting in front of you, and it does not get smaller because you avoid it. Actually, no, it gets louder. So for Cancer, this moment is simple, even if it doesn't feel simple. Pick the real option. Stop feeding the fog. Protect your boundary. Then tell yourself the truth about what you're being asked to leave behind. Not because you failed, because you woke up. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Cancer, July 29th. 7 of Cups. You kept opening tabs. You kept asking everybody except yourself. 7 of Cups is about choices, but not all of them are real. Some are just noise. Some are fantasy dressed up like a plan. You started 5 things. You finished none. You scrolled for an answer instead of naming the answer you already had. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You do know what matters. You just keep letting distractions sit at the table with it. 7 of Wands. This card is about holding your ground. And right now, somebody is testing your line. They want you to explain yourself again. They want you to soften it. You already said no. You already said not like that. You already said, I need space. Don't lie to yourself, because the pressure is coming from the outside, but the exhaustion is coming from you repeating the same boundary like it should be respected the 3rd time. Stand there, keep the line, protect the choice you made. The Moon reversed. This card is about the fog lifting, and it is not comfortable. The Moon reversed is showing the little things you tried not to name. The text you read 3 times, the conversation you avoided because you did not want the answer. The bad feeling you kept calling intuition just because it was loud. Because this is where the moment gets sharp. Some of the fear was real. Some of it was projection. Now you have to separate the two. Check what was actually said. Check what actually happened. Stop feeding the worst case story. Judgment. This card is the wake-up call. Judgment is not gentle here. It is the moment you admit the pattern. Again, you promised yourself you were done with this loop, and then you walked right back into it through a side door. That is the hard part, not because you failed, but because you have been hearing the same lesson for a while now and still waiting for permission to change. You do not need permission. You need honesty. Say the thing. Name the cost. Answer the call. The World. This card is completion, and it matters that it comes after the reckoning. The World says the moment is ending, whether you want to romanticize it or not. Something has been finished, a cycle closed. A version of you is done carrying what it carried before. You may feel relief, you may feel grief, both are valid. Do not minimize the progress because it did not look pretty. Do not cling to the old identity just because it is familiar. You made it through something. Now close it properly. So this is this. The fog clears, the fear gets exposed, and the old limits show their face. You stop chasing every option. You stop letting pressure bend your boundary. You tell the truth about what is real, what is projection, and what is over. then you move. Cancer, July 29th. This is the chapter where the fog starts breaking and you can't unsee what's been right in front of you. I'm seeing a lot of movement, but not the kind that comes from panic. The kind that comes from finally realizing the door was already open. 7 of Cups. This card is about too many options, too many feelings, too many maybe this, maybe that loops. You've been scrolling for answers instead of making one. You've been imagining 5 exits and actually walking none of them. 7 of Cups says stop treating every desire like a destiny. Name the real choices, cut the fantasy. Pick one path and let the rest go. The moon reverse. 7 of Cups is the fog lifting, and yes, the fear comes up with it. You started reading into every text, every pause, every tiny delay like it was a sign. Actually, no, it was anxiety talking. The moon reverse says the hidden thing is showing itself now. So look at what is actually happening. Check the facts, have the hard conversation. Do not feed the worst case story just because it feels familiar. The world, this card says the cycle is complete, not almost, complete. You finished something even if you did not clap for yourself. You learned the lesson, you outgrew the pattern. You reached the end of the moment and now you are standing in that strange place where relief and grief show up together. Do not minimize it. Do not rush past it. The world wants you to honor the ending before you try to force a new beginning. 8 of Swords reversed. The world is the mental lock coming loose. You are telling yourself you had no choice. You were staying because leaving felt harder than enduring. 8 of Swords reverse says the door was open the whole time. Let me rephrase that. The door is still open. One concrete step breaks the spell here. One message. One boundary, one honest move. Ask for support if you need it, but stop calling helplessness a fact. 7 of Wands. This card is where you hold your ground. People are going to question the choice. They may push. They may test you. 7 of Wands says, do not fold just because it gets loud. Say no clearly. Repeat yourself if you have to. Protect your time. Protect the progress you already made. You already knew that. The real work now is not deciding. It is defending what you decided. Judgment. This card is the wake-up call, not a soft one, a real one. Judgment says tell yourself the truth about what has been repeating. Admit what you know deep down. Stop waiting for permission to evolve. Stop carrying old guilt like it is proof you care. This is the reckoning moment, and it is clean. You answer the call, or you stay asleep in the same lesson one more round. So this is simple, even if it is not easy. The confusion is clearing. The cycle is done. The opening is here. Now you choose, you see clearly, and you move like somebody who knows the moment is over. Cancer, July 29th. Because this is the chapter where the fog starts to lift. And once you see it, you can't unsee what's been there all along. 7 of Cups. You have been staring at too many doors. You saved tabs, replayed conversations, and kept one foot in 5 different outcomes. That is not strategy anymore. That is avoidance dressed up like possibility. Pick the real option, not the prettiest one, not the one that keeps you daydreaming at 2 a.m. Pick the one you can actually live inside. The moon reversed. The moon reversed is pulling the curtain back on what you kept trying to explain away. I'm seeing the text message reads the worst case story, the gut punch when something small did not add up. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. This is not about inventing danger. This is about noticing what was already obvious. Your intuition is being tested by reality now, so check the facts. Stop feeding the fear loop. If a conversation needs to happen, it needs to happen. The world. The world says the cycle is complete, not almost complete. Complete. You finished something. You outgrew something. You hit the end of a moment that used to define you. And yes, that can feel like relief and grief at the same time. You do not need to keep carrying an old identity just because it is familiar. You already knew that. The lesson is done. The door is already open. 8 of Swords reversed. 8 of Swords reversed is the moment you realize the cage was mental before it was real. You stopped yourself. You talked yourself out of leaving. You told yourself it was safer to stay small than to make a move. Because that script is loosening now. Take one concrete step. Make one call. Send one message. Ask for help if you need it. The door was open the whole time. Death. Death is the clean ending. No more dragging the dead weight. No more trying to revive what has already changed shape and gone cold. This is the part where you grieve honestly. Not dramatically, honestly. A role ends. A bond changes. A version of you falls away. That is not failure. That is transformation. Let it go so something real can come through. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is you holding your ground when people question the choice you finally made. They may push. They may test. They may want you to explain yourself twice. Do not fold. Protect your time. Protect your progress. Say no clearly. Do not turn defense into panic, though. Stay steady. There is a difference between being guarded and being grounded. Judgment. Judgment is the wake up call at the end of the line. The same lesson came back one more time because you were finally ready to hear it. This is the reckoning. Tell yourself the truth. No more half-truths, no more waiting for permission to evolve. Answer the deeper call. Forgive yourself for what you did not know before and move. This moment is not asking you to keep processing forever. It is asking you to rise. Cancer, July 29th. 7 of Cups. You have too many tabs open, too many options. Too many little fantasies trying to pass as a plan, just like warned, too many cups, not enough truth. I'm seeing you scroll, compare, save, resave, and still not decide. You keep asking, what if I choose wrong? But the real issue is you are not separating desire from distraction. Pick one thing, one path, one next step. Don't chase every possibility just because it feels emotionally loud. The moon reversed. And now the fog starts lifting the same way, said the fog finally started lifting. Not all at once, just enough to make the pattern obvious. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. It's not that you suddenly became paranoid. It's that the facts have been sitting there and you kept trying to soften them. You read into the text, you lost sleep over the worst case version. You avoided the hard conversation because you wanted certainty first. But certainty is not coming before truth. The truth comes first, then the clarity. The world, this is a completion point, a real one, not a fake ending, not a dramatic pause. Something has already run its course and you can feel it in your body. Relief, both at once. You finish what you started, or you finally see that the moment is over, even if you kept trying to keep it alive. You do not need to minimize that. Completion is not emptiness. It is integration. It is you saying, I learned it. I lived it. I'm done repeating it. 8 of Swords reversed. The door was open all along. You just kept telling yourself it wasn't, even after made that clear. This is the moment where the mental cage starts loosening. You stop talking yourself out of leaving. You stop calling fear a fact. You stop acting helpless when you actually have a choice. Take one concrete step, send the message, make the call, ask for help, move your body. Do something that proves to your nervous system that you are not stuck anymore. You already knew. Death, here it is. The ending that makes room. The old form cannot come with you. Not the role, not the habit. Not the relationship pattern that keeps asking you to shrink to keep it comfortable. This is not failure. This is transformation. But you have to let it be over. because already told you what ends now makes room. Grieve it honestly. Stop trying to resurrect what has already changed shape. What dies here is the version of you that kept carrying dead weight and calling it loyalty. 7 of Wands. Now you defend what you just claimed, because the minute you change something or someone will test it. They will question your no. They will push for the old version of you. Don't fold. Stand there. Repeat yourself if you have to. Protect your time. Protect your peace. Protect the boundary that cost you something to build. This is not the time to people please your way back into the old cycle. Judgment, and now the call, loud enough to ignore, impossible to outrun. This is the reckoning point. Tell yourself the truth. Not the softened version. Not the version that keeps everyone else comfortable. The truth, the pattern is over, the lesson is clear. The next life starts the second you stop bargaining with the one that ended. Forgive yourself for taking time. Then move. Answer it, because what ends now makes room for your next life, okay? That's all I've got for now. If this hit, you already know what to do. Please subscribe. Tell your group chat. I'll see y'all soon.